Michael Wheeler, I know what you are. You're not fooling anyone. A week later, and I'm still Bylering out. So it's been an interesting week. Some people at school have been fighting with them about Byler versus Min11. I'm kind of mourning. It's just crazy that it's all over. And at school, we were discussing some stuff and it got heated. They've gotten so freaking tired of me that they're just sitting there quiet, not saying anything. Which, I mean, I love that because then I could just keep talking. My class, literally no one talks. So it's just quiet and then me screaming about Byler. A girl that I don't talk to in class apparently reposted like, oh my god, Bylers are so delusional. Oh, I have a one-sided beef with her now. I'm probably two-sided because she's probably heard me talk about Byler so many times. It's been an emotional week. 10 minutes ago, I was tearing up about this because it was real to me. It was real to me. I don't care what the duffers say. I don't care what the ending said, the epilogue. The real ending for me, they're gonna meet again in like 10 years and be happy. The duffers said the ending was up for interpretation. So that's what I'm interpreting it as. That's my opinion. Also, the hate Byler has been getting since the finale, it's actually so stupid. Let us be happy, let us mourn in peace, leave us alone. All we wanted was love. Love between two people, and all we're getting is hate. And it's so mean and stupid. I feel like Byler we stay in our place. But Min11's always come into Byler's spaces and hate and like, oh my god, what do you ship it? It's just for fun. If you don't like Byler, then don't come into Byler's spaces. There's way worse ships out there. Shipping two characters together is normal, especially when one of those characters were canonically in love with the other person. What makes you think people wouldn't ship that? It makes sense for people to ship two people when one of them are in love with the other. I miss the happiness we felt after volume 1. The absolute joy and happiness and hope we felt in that 1 month. Oh my god, that was peak Byler times. Honestly, the season ended there. I didn't see any more than that. No, it ended after the hug in, like at the start of episode 5. After he got his powers, when he whispered Mike. Oh my god, that's where it ended, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I will never feel anything like that again. I can't get over how this would have been the best romance of all time. It would have been so beautiful, so magical. How their love for each other gave Will powers. It could have been everything. The ship still goes on, like I'm still Bylering out. Honestly, I'm thriving. I've forgotten all about season 5. That didn't happen. I'm still here Bylering out. I'm still here shipping them as ever. I feel like I said pretty much everything in the last one. So I'm just gonna say whatever's on my mind. Comment down below what I should make videos about. I hate Mike. I'm sorry. He's my favorite character, but I hate him. I hate how he hates himself. Oh my god, this reminds me of that one sound. The one with Lucy Gray. Goodbye, Mike Wheeler. We hardly knew you. The writers didn't even know him. People say, oh, he's dating a girl. He's straight. First of all, you can't be bi. A lot of gay people date the opposite gender before they know they're gay or even while they're gay because they want to hide that part of themselves. And especially in the 80s, he was surrounded by homophobia. And he was literally, 12 years old when they got together. He barely knew anything about himself. As Lucas literally said, the first girl who's not grossed out by you. In Mike's mind, he's like, oh, this girl isn't immediately grossed out by me. Girl plus boy equals romance. I guess we should kiss. That's what went through his mind, I think. The way Elle was compared to Will, and when they saw her in the woods, they were thinking it could be Will. She wasn't exactly feminine. She had a baggy t-shirt. shaved head. You couldn't tell what gender she was. I feel like that's kind of a metaphor. It could be a metaphor for Mike's sexuality, I guess. Bylers always get called delusional and seeing things and whatever, but we saw what was there. I'm sorry, but we saw what was there. I'm sorry that you have no media literacy. God forbid, they literally show so many signs and we ship it. I don't understand how Byler doesn't make sense to people because it's so clear, especially after season 4. I wish we were like our own fandom. I'm sorry, I don't like the rest of the fandom at all because they're so against everything and everything the show stands for. People are different, who don't fit in, and then the fandom literally bullies anyone who doesn't fit in. I'm sorry, but it's actually funny how Steve is the top character who everyone loves, and he's like the most quote-unquote normal character, and that just shows how the fandom is. Shipping is supposed to be fun. I'm here to have a good time, and we just get hate. It's actually so stupid. In season 2, they said if we go crazy, then we'll go crazy together. And then in season 3, there were at least 2 mentions of going crazy. One of them were Mike trying to tell Elle he loved her. He was trying to say that love makes you crazy. The other time was when the woman told Nancy, only love makes you that crazy. So who went crazy together exactly? Right. These aren't coincidences. Also, it's funny. It's not funny. It's absolutely horrible how at the end of Elle's life, it was all about Mike. When did he understand her? In season 3, when they were arguing and Mike was just laying in his basement, burping, laughing, not doing anything about it, versus when Will and him argued, he ran through the rain after Will, banged on his door, yelling, "I'm sorry, Will, I'm sorry, come out." That shows how much he values each relationship and how each relationship affect him. Also in the rain fight, I do not think Mike knew Will was gay. I think maybe he was projecting onto him with the "it's not my fault you don't like girls." He was projecting that onto Will because he has shame and internalized homophobia that probably doesn't know about. The whole of season 4 doesn't make sense. After the ending of season 5, nothing about season 4 makes sense. Mike or Will doesn't make sense, and Mike and Elle doesn't make sense. Why didn't Mike hug Will normally? Finn, in that one interview in season 4, he said that Mike was trying to be as normal as possible in this season, which is the polar opposite of what he's actually doing. Lucas doesn't want to be bullied anymore, and then Mike is against that. Mike wants to be in the Hellfire Club, wants to be different, wants to be an outcast, whatever. So what does he mean then? Literally, what does he mean by being normal? And when he's coming to California, he is wearing something so out of character. So why is he trying to be quote-unquote normal around his girlfriend when he didn't even know they had problems? He didn't know how Elle was feeling around his letters and how mad she was about him not saying "I love you." He didn't know any of that. So why would he be trying to be normal? Unless there is something he is hiding, which he clearly is. And we see that in the Ringomania scene. When Elle gets taken with the police, he's totally oblivious, totally doesn't understand anything. And it's so clear that Elle is uncomfortable. And then later on, when he finds out that Angela actually is a bully, he is saying it's Will's fault. That he was moping, rolling his eyes. You didn't notice that your girlfriend was uncomfortable getting bullied, but you did notice how Will was moping and rolling his eyes. Right. How does he pay so much attention to Will? In the scenes we saw when they were skating and everything, Mike doesn't seem to be looking at Will, acknowledging Will, and we find out he's actually paying more attention to Will than his girlfriend. So explain that to me. Why is that? Why would he be paying so much attention to Will and not his girlfriend? How could he be so oblivious? His whole character does not make sense. His writing doesn't make sense. I think season 4 is really the Byler season. that's where I think Byler peaked. I wholeheartedly believe Byler was supposed to be canon. The parallel of Mike and Elle fighting about him not saying I love you. Elle said, "You never say it." And then Mike says, "I do," which he doesn't. He's lying. It also doesn't make sense why he couldn't just say I love you. Never explained, never acknowledged anymore after this. Right after that, a scene between Mike and Will, where Will says, "I didn't say it," and Mike says, "You didn't have to." He doesn't have to say I love you for him to know that he loves him, but Elle needs Mike to say I love you to know that Mike loves her. Also in the Rinkomania scene, when Will asked, "What about us?" and then Mike says, "We're friends. We're friends." Who said we weren't? Who said y'all were anything else? No one ever said you guys were anything else. So why are you trying to clarify that? Who are you trying to convince? It's so frustrating how nothing about his character is explained. He had so much potential to be such a well-written character. Even if Byler wasn't happening, they should have explained something. Why couldn't he say I love you? Why was he awkward? Why was he so oblivious to everything? When they were digging, he looked at Will, and then when Will looked at him, he looked down away, and then he looked at him again. Oh my god, I've been seeing so many evil Byler edits. The concept of evil Byler being more canon than Byler. Because what do you mean? Why was he doing that double take? Why was he doing all that? If it wasn't on purpose, they didn't need to keep it in. That scene added nothing to the story. Why did they keep it in? While we're talking about evil Byler, I don't think all that, looking at his lips and whatever, I don't think it was Finn, because why would they keep... They probably did so many takes of those scenes, but they kept those scenes in on purpose. And so many flirting scenes too. The whole start of season 5 was so evil. They did it to trick us into thinking Byler was gonna happen. The whole speech with Robin, instead of "How did you know Vicky liked you?" it could have been "How did you know you were gay?" It could have been "How did you accept yourself?" But it was specifically "How did you know that Vicky liked you?" How obvious were the signs? So that's telling us that Will has seen the signs. That's telling us that he wants to date Mike. And we, as the viewers, saw the signs because you guys showed them to us. The whole scene where they were walking down the hill, bumping into each other, and then afterwards having a flirty moment, the flirty shove of the shoulder. None of that needed to be in. There's so many ways it could have been much more platonic. They wrote it that way to queerbait us. Also, after seeing so much discourse about Byler, if they knew from the beginning it wasn't gonna happen, they should have said something. Byler has been so big. Even many of the actors have acknowledged it, and so many, everyone knows about Byler. Everyone knows about it. So if it wasn't gonna happen, they didn't want to queerbait us, they should have clarified it from the beginning. It's actually evil to do this. They know how many people they are going to disappoint. They know how many people are watching Stranger Things for Byler, and they wanted to keep us as viewers. They wanted to keep us for money and views and clicks and engagement. They wanted us to crash out after the finale about Byler not happening. I believe in divorce cake, guys. I wholeheartedly believe that had something to do with it. Also, Mike being Will's Tammy does not make sense at all. Tammy was a hallway crush who Robin hadn't talked to once. But Mike and Will are best friends who've known each other since they were 5, have literally gone through hell and back together. Oh no, he's just my Tammy. Oh, shut the heck up, shut the heck up, shut the heck up, shut the heck up. It's infuriating to belittle this and to reduce his love for Mike to a hallway crush. It's a slap in the face for every Byler shipper who have been here through thick and thin with Byler. For him to be a hallway crush? No. Mike has been with him since they were 5, has been protecting him and fought for him through all these years, but he's just my Tammy. Oh my god, shut up. Actually, shut up. When Robin was talking about Tammy, she was saying, it was right then and there that I knew she was the one. And then in season 4, Mike's speech to Elle, he said, I knew right then and there that I loved you. Which he didn't, because he wanted to send her back to the lab. He was gonna let her stay the night, and then when they found Will, he was gonna throw her out. He did not love her from the moment he met her. The way they're changing everything for 11. Why was Elle's death reduced to her boyfriend? Who's a terrible boyfriend? He couldn't even say I love you before she died. She said I love you, he was quiet. How is this actually possible? And then the montage was just the two of them. Even season 4, when they were having so many problems, and that speech that didn't even help her when she was in her trance or whatever in the bathtub. Mike's speech didn't help her at all. It was Max who helped her. And it should have been Max and everyone in that montage. But it was just Mike? Why would they do this to Elle's character, reduce her to her boyfriend who couldn't say I love you? It's just evil and shows how bad they are as writers, because this ending doesn't make sense. But they kept putting in these quote-unquote coincidences with specifically Mike. If he wasn't going to be a queer character, why do all of this? The closets, the songs. Why was Small Town Boys on his playlist? It even fits better with Will's story, because a line in the song is, you are the one that they talk about around town. Everyone in town talked about Will. So why was this song on Mike's playlist if he wasn't gonna be gay? And that song shows how they purposefully queerbaited us again. The first song on the playlist even. Absolutely evil, absolutely cruel. The audacity to put heroes in the credits? Bro, I was fuming. They hinted at it, said, oh, Heroes is gonna play in the season, Heroes gonna play. Well, they know Heroes is a big Byler song. It's at least one of the scenes was when Mike found out Will was dead, which he wasn't, but you know, hugging his mom. The 2 times he hugged his mom is when Will leaves. They used it in the credits, where they literally erased Will in so many pictures. Will was in the background, and it was the Rinkomania scene, which was didn't even turn out good for the couple, Form 11. The audacity, bro, the audacity. Also to put Purple Rain as an 11 song. No, I don't care that they met in the rain. Bro, it rains all the time in the show. In Will's argument was in the rain, so don't come here, they met in the rain. Bro, shut up. This song is a widely acknowledged queer anthem. The lyrics don't even match 11. They match Byler. At least a little bit. These lyrics. I only wanted to be some kind of friend. Baby, I could never steal you from another. So tell me, when did 11 steal each other from someone else? Never. But who had a girlfriend while Will had a crush on him? Mike. Will could never steal Mike from another. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Whose friendship was in shambles all of season 3 and 4? Right. So how does this song match 11? It's also such a queer anthem, and I mentioned this in the other video I made. They are making a mockery out of us. Everyone hates on Byler. Everyone's going around, oh, y'all are delusional. Y'all were never gonna win. Y'all are stupid for believing in this. No, we're not stupid. We saw what was there. And now we are getting so much hate. I'm just over it. It was such a bad decision for Mike's character to make him straight. I'm sorry, but he should have been gay. The story would have made 10 times more sense, would have been 10 times more better. Now, Mike is gonna live suffering for the rest of his life. He's also gonna be suffering with shame, internalized homophobia, and in hiding for the rest of his life. He turned out to be his dad. What kind of development is this for Mike's character? He turned out to be his freaking dad. The painting was never addressed. The audacity to have it hanging on his wall was criminal. Mike never knew about Will's feelings. Will didn't get a proper resolution because he never even told or confessed his love. He just had to move on like nothing happened. Like he didn't have a 10-year love for this person and he just had to move on like nothing happened. I know the Duffers said that Mike realized in the coming out scene, but why are you telling us that? You should show that in the show. You can't just tell us, oh, he realized. They're literally making up stuff in these interviews, I swear. To end this video off on a good note, Byler doesn't have to be Duffer canon to be you canon. Byler is still alive in our hearts. And Byler is forever going to be a beautiful thing that we have. It doesn't need to be canon to be true to us. We're still going strong. And I've been having so much fun seeing all these headcanons and all these future Byler moments, and I wholeheartedly believe that in the future they're gonna get together. And oh my god, that things I've been seeing about Mike, it's like 10 years later. Will and his boyfriend are at a club together, and then he spots Mike across the floor staring at him. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I do not condemn cheating, but cheating Will is canon to me. Cheating Byler on Epilogue Boyfriend, it's happening. This is what fandom is about. It doesn't need to be canon for us to have fun and to Byler out. So let's keep doing this, and this is our time to shine. We need to embrace Byler. In my mind, they are together. Literally, life doesn't end after high school. So much happens after high school. They're gonna move out of Hawkins and realize there's so much more out there than what they know. Mike especially is gonna realize who he truly is and what he truly wants. And they are gonna find their way back to each other at one point. If it's not now, then in 10, 20 years. But it's gonna happen. I don't care what the Duffers say. I don't care what anyone says. They are gonna find their way back to each other. It makes me emotional because this is such a beautiful love story that we know is real in our hearts. Byler is so beautiful, and Byler has given us so much and given me so much. Life moves on. We're still gonna ship what we ship. We're still gonna love what we love. That won't change. Maya Hawke shipping Byler on Jimmy Fallon. Oh my god, that made my week. Even Jimmy Fallon said, no, they gotta go. They gotta be in the ship together. Okay, comment down below your opinion and ideas for other videos. If you want to see like a edit compilation or a fan music video, I don't know. In 5 months, be prepared for a vlog of me getting my first tattoo because I'm turning 18. And trust, it's gonna be Byler. It's gonna be Byler. It's gonna be crazy together in blue and yellow. Well, I've said pretty much everything I have on my mind, so see you guys later. I'm about to cry. I just saw a TikTok that said, Will chose to speak and Mike chose to die. Is it better to speak or to die? Bro, I'm done. Goodbye. Goodbye.